HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with what's happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, we'll meet new DPW Director Kerry Reed, the Good Times Banjo Band, Rock the Town Common, and much more. But first, the Select Board recently welcomed some new town employees. The Hopkinton Select Board recently approved of a new assistant town accountant
through posting to the general ledger. This is a position that we have had in place for a while now, and Punan will be replacing Stephanie. Position is budgeted. And at this point, with your permission, I would let Maria explain to the community the process and why Punan is our recommended candidate.
Yes, thank you. Punam, along with other applicants, went through our typical recruitment with the first round panel, a screening, and met with Liz Roth, the senior accounting manager, Elaine Lazarus, assistant town manager, Beryl Wagner, procurement and grants manager, Jessica Leverance, benefits administrator, and Kristen Merrill, HR generalist.
Okay, so does any member of the board have some questions?
I'll go first.
Okay.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I've gone through your resume. It looks like you're very accomplished and been working as an accountant. I just ask, why do you choose Hopkinton?
So I'm very familiar with Hopkinton. I have friends here. We come around to Hopkinton State Park, the Great Marathon. So when I looked at the job application, it was very close to what I do, and I was looking to move from H&R Block because I wanted full-time employment, one, but also, this status, I do wanted to be part of a community. I volunteered at several places, so I enjoy also being part of the community. So that was the biggest pull for me.
The Select Board also welcomed in a new police officer to the Hopkinton Police Department.
Favorite event. So Noah, tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to work in your hometown.
All right, so like Chief Bennett was saying, fifth generation from the town. Grew up here, went through the school system here. I feel a deep connection to the town. It's the place that I've always called home, and I feel like it's given me this opportunity to work for the police department. It gave me the opportunity to further my education, so I feel like the best way that I could give back to the town is to serve it and its residents.
I just want to say, everything looks great. You just finished your bachelor's and you're going to on the way to your master's next year, so that looks great. And that you've been an intern in the wellness at the police department. You're doing some data analysis on the use of force. So I wonder if you could just tell us a little bit what you learned from that experience. It seems like a great opportunity.
So they had me do their data analysis of their use of force reports for 2021 and 2022. So I got a lot of in-depth experience. It was mostly just looking through spreadsheets and stuff, but I got experience with the administrative side of policing. It's not always you're not always on the street, so most of my time spent at Leominster was in administrative capacity, so that's mostly what I learned from that. And I actually, not to pat myself on the back, but I created a template for them to do their use of force reports from now on. And my lieutenant was, he commended me for that. So
We call that sustainability. That's amazing.
All right, Norman first. All right. Sure we got everyone? Thank you.
Thank you all.
The Good Times Banjo Band recently performed at the annual Hopkinton Parks and Recreation Concerts on the Common series. Here's a look.
So after all is said and done, to think that I'm the lucky one, I can't believe that you're in love with me. I just can't imagine that you love me. So after all is said and done, to think that I'm the lucky one, I can't believe that you're in love with me. Your every thought, your every prayer, your every song I ever sing. Summer, winter, autumn, and spring. If there were more than 24 hours a day, I'd be spent in sweet content, dreaming away. When stars are gray, stars are blue, morning, noon, and nighttime too, all I do the whole day through is dream of you. Tune that fills the air. I dream about magnolias in June and wishing that I were there. Do you know what it means to miss New Orleans? 'Cause that's where you left your heart. And here's something more. I miss the one I care for more than I miss New Orleans. Shall I come back again? Tell me, dear, are you lonesome tonight?
same. You'll never change it. As sure as the stars shine above, you're nobody till somebody loves you.
We are going to take a quick time out. A whole lot more HCAM news on the way. Stay tuned. HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Welcome back to HCAM News. HCAM intern reporter City Donda recently caught up with new Hopkinton DPW director Carrie Reed. Here's a look.
So I know you've served on the conservation committee in town for a while, and now you're the new director. How'd you end up in Hopkinton?
I'm a resident. I ended up in Hopkinton. We moved here about 11 years ago. We came for the convenience to the roads and the good school system and a lot of the amenities we have. And I've been in public works now for almost about the same amount of time. So I was hoping for an opportunity to work for my own town. And when the former DPW director left, I just jumped at the opportunity. So that's how I ended up here.
How'd you get involved with public works?
That is a long story. So I've always had a passion for public service since a kid. I think my parents must have instilled that in me. I was in the military. I worked in consulting for a little while, and I just didn't find it to be as satisfying as I thought it would be. I missed that connection to the community. I missed just dealing with different things, not focusing on profitability, like really focusing on the mission, which is, something that we did in the military. And I looked at the projects I like to work on and the people I like to work with, and it was all in the public service. And in the military, we're at the federal level, big picture. And I liked being at the small municipal level because you could really connect with people. You can really see the impact that your projects do. And that's when I was able to transition from consulting into public sector. I worked for the city of Framingham and then more recently the city of Worcester before here. And I did some volunteer service, and I just really like that impact, doing work that you can see the results.
What did young Carrie think she would be doing for a living? Did you always think you'd go into public works before or no?
No, actually. So when I was little, I thought I was going to be a famous author. I wanted to be the next Judy Blume, which when I talk to kids now, I'm like the next J.K. Rowling or something like that. And they all laughed at me. And it wasn't until, I shouldn't say it wasn't, but I thought I was going to be an author. And then in 7th grade, I had a great science teacher. We had earth sciences. So up till then, we were learning about magnets and science and space. And I didn't think I liked science because I didn't like any of those things. And then I took the earth science class, and I really liked it, and it came easy to me. And I had a great mentor. Again, this is 7th grade, who encouraged me to go to this environmental camp that was being sponsored by our local utility, where I grew up. And I went and we toured wastewater treatment plants and water treatment plants, landfills, incinerators, all this stuff that I'd been driving past and never knew what they were. And it really started getting my mind thinking about going into environmental fields, and totally switched from writing and English and that kind to science. But even all throughout high school, when I went to school, I thought I wanted to do environmental science. I didn't think of myself as an engineer. I thought engineers are people that really like math and like to build things and all that stuff, and that wasn't me. And even throughout school, I thought I'm going to be a scientist. And then when I was at school, so I went to West Point. Everybody has to take an engineering course. And the difference between the engineering major and the environmental science major was 2 classes, either engineering classes, which I was doing pretty well in, or like 2 computer science classes, which I did not like. So I kind of fell into engineering. And even in the military, at first, I didn't think of myself as an engineer because we all have that stereotype of what an engineer is supposed to be. And being in the military as an Army engineer, we started taking a lot of pride in ourselves. We build it up and all the neat things we did. And I realized engineering is just a fancy way to say that you're a problem solver. So that's kind of how I ended up being an engineer. And now I'm proud of it and I really kind of define myself as it. But when I was young, I would have never pictured myself in this realm of work. And it probably wasn't, except for those amazing 7th to 8th grade science teachers I had that set me on this path.
It's time to tell you about some happenings in town you should know about. Reserve your spot for the 2nd annual Hopkinton Emergency Fund and Hopkinton Women's Club Golf Tournament. It'll take place on Monday, September 18th at the Shining Rock Country Club in Northbridge. For more information, you can head over to the hopkintonemergencyfund.org or the hopkintonwomensclub.org, or, of course, our website, hcam.tv. Hopkinton Family Day this year will take place on Saturday, September 23rd at the Hopkinton High School / Middle School athletic fields. It'll happen from 2 to 9 p.m. on Saturday, September 23rd, the annual Hopkinton Family Day event. Fun for all ages. A couple pictures of the week to tell you about. The Hopkinton Community Summer Band performed at the Hopkinton Parks and Recreation 2023 Concerts on the Common series. You can see a full collection of photos courtesy of Denise Antaki at oursceneinhopkinton.org. Also, congratulations to the Hopkinton Hillers 12A softball team as they won the Twin Valley Championship. Due to heavy rains during the week, they had to play a couple games back-to-back, but they were able to take down Ashland and Westboro to capture the title. A big congratulations to the Hopkinton Hillers 12A softball team. Upcoming town government meetings include on Thursday, August 10th at 7:30 p.m. The Elmwood Project Forum will take place in the HCAM studios. You can join the forum via Zoom. For more information, head over to our website, hcam.tv. Also on Monday, August 21st at 7 p.m., we'll have the Planning Board meeting live on HCAM TV. To view all upcoming town government meetings, head over to hcam.tv/gov. And for more information about the meetings, you can head over to the town website, hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.
Hi, this is Ed Harrow reporting on the last meeting of the Open Space Preservation Commission. We had a lovely meeting, and when I look aside, it's because I'm checking out my agenda so I know what I'm talking about. The first thing on our agenda was the usual Whitehall Conservation Area. It's time for another bittersweet mowing, and sometime hopefully within the next 2 weeks that will get done. We voted back in the spring money to do this 3 times. And the question will be whether the third time is the final time or whether we need to get some more money together for that. The other thing with Whitehall was that some time ago, I inquired from Friends of Whitehall and from Peter, Joe Regan of Regan Tree, whether the maple tree needed another dose of wood chips to help protect its roots and the ground around it, because people park there. And Joe Regan delivered his opinion by dumping a load of chips. And Peter Regan of Friends of Whitehall worked to get the chips spread around. And the only fly in the ointment was that this time a skid steer was involved, and the skid steer couldn't get through the closed gate because nobody involved at that point who was there knew the combination to the gate. So it made for some awkwardness that hopefully won't reoccur. We have set up a tentative, date uncertain walk of the open space property that has been given to the town and the town given by town meeting vote to open space. The open space portion of Turkey Ridge, and at this point we're just waiting for all of the members of open space to kind of check the boxes to when they're available to do it. And Sean has granted permission and would like to accompany us, Sean being the developer of Turkey Ridge. We talked some about our website that we want to get together. The various members of the commission have looked at websites for open space committees and commissions from surrounding towns, and we put together a big collection of that to share and to look at. And we have some hoped assistance from the people who put together the sustainable website. And because we're seemingly not getting any progress anywhere else, this is what we're hoping is going to do the job. We talked very briefly about polyarts and having a table there. We have done this in past years, and just bringing that up to the attention of with the commissioners that we ought to have a presence there. And we reappointed Steve Lewandowski to be the CPC representative from Open Space. He's done an admirable job, and we celebrated his promotion to full professor at Holy Cross, which is a big deal. And we had a lovely time. And I brought my Irish soda bread, which a fair amount of it disappeared. We did not have cake this time. I couldn't get my act together to do that. We had a lengthy discussion about the properties that open space has come to possess, I guess I'll use that term, some because it's been purchased from the owner, like Cameron Woods, for instance, or the Whitehall Conservation Area, and others because they were part of an open space subdivision and the properties ended up under our bailiwick. And we would like to learn from this process. And the only way you learn from these processes is to have records of what transpired and who did what and so forth. And the same holds true for properties that we have attempted to acquire, but for one reason or another have missed the boat. So we would like to put together files for each of our properties and for the properties we've hoped to get but haven't, and see what we can learn from all of that. And we look upon this as being a significant project to get all this stuff together. We learned that CPC has a new grant process, and Shannon has shared that with us. Shannon being Shannon Soares, our admin person and major domo and the navigator that keeps this group operational. And the last thing we talked about was the fact that CPC applications, the deadline is the 12th of October. So if we want to get any money from CPC, we need to figure that out pretty soon and get the applications in. And so that was it. As always, if you have questions, thoughts, want to knows, please feel free to give me a call. I'm in the phone book, and it's the old-fashioned way, but it works. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye-bye.